The purpose of this caucus process, as we were told, was to elect delegates to the National Convention. If we're just rubber stamping a pre-approved list compiled by a few people that are themselves appointed by the state party chairman, this whole system is pointless. Our votes as Republican Party members don't matter at all. It's an illusion. The methods used and the stalling of time by our party leaders made it apparent that this was not supposed to be a vote by the delegates at large. It was supposed to be a rubber stamping of the agenda of a few people. I want to point out that this supermajority of delegates were not all Ron Paul supporters, but it was made up of delegates who wanted their voices heard. Senator Bob Beer's conduct and actions were quite shocking to me. When the party leaders realized all was lost for their agenda, he promptly called a recess. It did not seem important to him to continue on with the rules. In fact, he tried to put himself above the rules. I sincerely and respectfully admonish Senator Bob Beers and the other state party leaders to consider that there is a higher law, natural law, which we are all accountable to, the author of which law instituted government itself. Not including the decisions of the leaders during the convention, he and the Nevada Republican Party leaders, our elected public servants, have now just cost every delegate hundreds of more dollars and for many lost working time. Regarding the conduct of the delegates, it grieves me to say that there were some Paul and some McCain supporters that acted inappropriately, but this was not the majority. There are no excuses for these actions. One of the overriding themes being pushed by the heads of the current Republican Party in Nevada is that we need to just be unified. As I have learned through this whole process, what that really means is that we, the people, just need to agree with the agenda of the current leadership. We are told to be a bunch of sheep, but at the same time being told that we are really the ones making things happen. Unity for unity's sake alone is pointless. There were some delegates in attendance for Ron Paul and some for McCain. If the full slate system revealed a better result for McCain, that's fine. Is not the purpose of the caucus process to vote in a candidate for the party by the delegates? Why have a caucus if we are just to vote for McCain? What if we don't agree with his views? What is the problem for the National Republican Party anyway if Ron Paul happened to receive more delegates in Nevada than McCain? Freedom of choice and the ability to think for ourselves is healthy and at the core of American principles. To disagree with another is not wrong. It is part of being an individual. If we can learn valuable lessons, from all men. It is not disrespectful to disagree on positions, but those who do should do so respectfully. Was this caucus process perfect? No, of course not, and that's fine. It was a great attempt for a good process. I am thankful that the state decided to conduct a caucus this year. We the people were encouraged to get involved in the process. It grieves me, though, to see the default setting of this process when the agenda of a few leaders does not agree with how the system plays out. A comment was made sometime during the convention by a person at the podium. I don't remember it exactly, but it went something like this. Don't you trust us? Being that there had already been multiple attempts by the party leadership to undermine a full ballot, I had realized that, no, I didn't trust them. This is sad. This is a call to men of good principles and conscience to get involved with our Republican Party. We need men like the delegate Mike Weber, who acted to continue the convention, not for his agenda, but for principle. I support the Constitution and the message of Congressman Dr. Ron Paul, and I am not one of the ones responsible for organizing Ron Paul meetup groups. I am just a supporter of him, and more importantly, his message. Freedom and justice were purchased by great sacrifice, and they are maintained by vigilance and much effort. Respectfully, Clay Hutton.